I'm going to go ahead and get set up here on the screen. Excuse me, got a little frog in the throat for some reason, but we'll do a live chat here again. Let's see. Videos. Waiting for it to pop up on here so we can actually have the chat up too. Um, as promised, I'm going to do more of these. I tried scheduling. I got to figure out a way to schedule stuff, but I don't seem to have that figured out yet. And I got to remember to sell cars too. So I have to sell cars in addition to doing this stuff. So bear with me as I figure stuff out. Let's see here. Go back to home here. Videos. Okay. Trying to get my live chat up. So, wow, got 8 people in the chat. Okay, so we're going to talk about, I'm not going to mess with this just yet. It'll pop up on my screen for a little bit, and then I'll get it figured out. We do have some things to talk about 2026-wise and 2027. Some news came out about 2027 Atlas. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I wanted to talk about stuff for 2026 again. I've got some videos that are in the hopper that I haven't uploaded yet. They're already made. I want to add chapters to them because they're long. 2 videos that are trim comparisons. One's for the Atlas Crossport and one is for the Taos. We'll get those uploaded. And that way, once they're uploaded, I'll let them out, or you'll be able to see them. I hope to do that tomorrow or at the latest Sunday. Fingers crossed. Those are really helpful. I want to get those out. I want to get a lot of views on those and get those shared a lot to help people buy cars. So if you have a question, type it in. If you feel like contributing and saying where you're at, type that in too. Talk about the new Atlas coming. Very interested. Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit here. Yes. Let's see here. There we go. It takes a minute for it to pop up on my computer screen that it's live, so it takes me a little bit here. Let's see here. Yes, it's Adjust the Atlas with a Crossport refresh as well. I'm going to talk about that too because I'm starting to develop a suspicion here. 2026 Atlas. Still got a bunch of those. We're still building those. They're going to build those until there'll probably be a pause. I don't remember when the second shutdown is for the factory, but I'm going to guess it's sometime around July or August. We were hoping for the Atlas to show up by summertime. By June or July, they would be at dealer lots. But nope, they're delaying that till November. There's a couple other things they delayed too that I'm not too happy about, but they delayed the release of the Atlas or the Atlas showing up on lots till November. They're planning on debuting it in the New York Auto Show, I'm told. So there's that. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, the 2026s Atlases. Got a bunch of those still. Atlases are selling good. Taoses are surprisingly selling well too, the 2025s, because everybody had a ton of them. The reason all your dealers have so many 2025 Taoses, if that's in fact true in your area, is because the 2024 Tiguan, when it came out, they planned on having a lull between when the 25 Tiguan was actually going to hit the lot versus dealers selling out of 2024 models. So they actually had trainers go around to different dealerships and train people on how to cross-sell the Taos as a replacement for people looking for the 25 Tiguan, because they thought there was going to be a shortage of cars on the ground. So they convinced all of the dealers to stock way up more than they would have on Taos. So now it's kind of biting us in the butt a little bit, so to speak. 25 Taos. I still have about 45 to 50 of those in stock. I do have 26s as well, as you'll see in that video when I upload it, for the 26 trim comparison. Nothing really changed for 26 from 25 on the Taos at all other than pricing. Same with the Atlas, same with the Crossport, same with the Jetta. Everything across the board got more expensive in 2026. I expect 2027 to be more of the same. 26 Taos. Yes, I have them. 25 towels. Oh, good God, I have them. If you're willing to get on a plane and come buy one from me, I'll make you a great deal. I promise you that. I'll be worth the trip. And you'll get this 10 years free maintenance. I'm sorry, this 6 years free maintenance. Whoa, slip up there. 6 years free maintenance, 10-year, 200,000-mile engine and powertrain warranty free of charge. We do that on all of those cars. So there's that. I want to say hi to Cartier Loves. And let's see here. Where are you at? Also, Q-Wade 4466. Hello. Where are you guys? Perry, I see you there. Hello out there in Winchester. And then Paul Blakeman, Arizona. Let's see. I'll get the 2027 out with the brakes aren't noisy. That's funny because I got a feeling that's not going to change. They use the brakes they use for the supplier. I don't know who the supplier is, but they use, I've heard ceramic brakes. They have metallic brakes. And when they're cold, they're noisy. Okay, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh, man. Yeah, it's super cold up there. Well, it was cold. We were almost 56 degrees today. So we're supposed to hit almost 70, I think, within the next week. Supposed to rain on Sunday, and then we're supposed to be almost to 70 every day next week. That's gonna be fun. Let's see. So, 2026 Atlas, got plenty of them. 2026 Crossport, got plenty of them. I got like 26 Crossports in stock. That's about normal supply for us. I do have SEL-R-Line blacks. I have an SEL, actually two SELs. I have plenty of SE Techs. I have SEs, and I have SEO Premium R-Lines, of course. I have a green one, I have white ones, and I don't think I have any black ones right now, but I have more coming. So, Jetta, 2026 Jettas. We're getting stocked up on Jettas. We finally sold through our last 25 Jetta, yesterday, no, day before. Jetta S was the last of our 2025s. So now we have 2026s on the ground. Again, no change other than pricing on those cars. ID4. We have two 2025s left. We don't have any 26 ID4s coming to us. There are dealers that have 26 on the ground. You'll probably see them at your dealers locally. But a dealer can make the choice to accept them or not accept them. And it's pretty safe to say that our dealers are not accepting them right now just because there's no tax credit for them. There's no real incentive to move the car. So it basically, unless you're specifically looking for an electric car, you're not looking at that. So two of the two we have right now are fine for us. We're not going to get any more anytime soon on those. And if we would get some, they're probably going to try to push 25s that are built and sitting, waiting for delivery. But we would probably move on to 26 if that were the case. ID Buzz. I have 8 ID Buzzes in stock. I have a Mahi Green Pro S Plus, and two Energetic Orange. First editions. I have a Cabana Blue Pro S Plus, and then two Pro S rear wheel drives, one black, one silver. Great looking vans. I don't know what the incentives changed to begin February. I haven't looked that one up, but I'm pretty sure they're still the same as they were previously. So we have those. What am I missing? Tiguan. Hang on one sec, guys. I do have plenty of 25 Tiguan still in stock, with, of course, the exception of the SEL-R-Line. That sold out whenever they landed. Those were gone. 2026s. I have quite a few of those as well, and more coming. I have 5 turbos in stock. I have a black one. Actually, I did have 2 black ones. One black one sold today. I have 3 sandstone, one with the brown that came from another dealer. They trailered it to us, so it doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Then we have 2 sandstones with gray. The green with brown one that we did have last week is gone. I have a blue one with Mistral leather, and then I have 2 white ones with brown, amber brown interior. So that might not add up to 8, but I'm pretty sure it's still 8 on the ground that I have. But I'm just going from memory here. SEL-R-Lines continue to be the hot seller. The SEL-R-Line turbos Uh, they tend to move kind of in packs. It depends on the color you have. Depends totally on the color. So like our blue ones are a slow mover, but the sandstone with brown, the black with brown, and the black with gray seem to be the fastest sellers, and the green with brown seems to be another one. Let's see here. What are we talking about here? I just bought a certified pre-owned 23 Atlas crossboard with brake squeak. Should I change the brakes and rotors aftermarket to stop the noise? The way I'm familiar with that noise is once the brakes warm up, it stops doing it. It does it when they're cold. If you're having them persist, I would definitely have them take a look at it if you haven't already to make sure there's no issue there. And if that's the case, if it's still doing it, yeah, I would go aftermarket with the brakes. Because I get it. Squeaking brakes are embarrassing. You don't want to do it, especially if you spend $30, $40, $50,000 on something. You don't need it squeaking. You couldn't sneak up on anybody in that thing. When you apply the brakes, you just want to be a nice, quiet, smooth stop. I get it. I totally do. You made a disparaging video about the turner that broke down, bought another one. I find that guy annoying. I'm not even going to watch it. Yeah, he did get another one. He made so much noise. You knew they were going to do something for him. They gave him another one. Well, I don't know the story. I say they gave him one. They just let him trade it in. They probably didn't turn him. They probably made it where it was a lateral move. He didn't lose anything because he definitely would have threw him under the bus if they didn't appease him. So he's basically using, in my eyes, he's using his ranking status, throwing that around to get what he wants. So maybe he's a glutton for punishment. Who knows? I don't know why he would get another one. I don't know. Maybe just to make more disparaging videos. I don't know. I don't like the guy. I mean, they were all right, and then he made that video, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. So yeah, I get it. So on that note, the Tiguan, the 2026 Tiguan turbos, there are a few of them out there with issues, and Volkswagen knows it, and Volkswagen's going to fix it. So that Boston blog, I think his name is, or his channel is, yeah, he got one. He needs a turbo, and the turbos are on back order. So there's that. I've seen that come up on my feed too. I won't watch him. He's trying to get views. Yeah, absolutely. He's totally trying to get views. Yeah, no problem. Kevin, where are you at? Do you have any suggestions for the best? That I don't, because I didn't have the issue on my crossboard. Excuse me. I've had customers that have the issue, but it's not 100% across the board. It's rare cases. Oh, you're in Philly. Go Eagles. It pains me to say that, but man, you guys had a way better year than we did. So, go Eagles. And if you guys do have questions there, just type them in there. I did talk about ID4. I talked about ID Buzz. I talked about Jetta, Taos, Tiguan, Taos. So 2027, we're going to get on with that. So 2027, there are some rumors floating around. One of the rumors is that there's a 2027 redesign for the Jetta. From the pictures that are allegedly pictures of this 2027 Jetta, because we never know. I always do allegedly because Volkswagen does a lot of things to change things. They water it down, they dilute things, they delete things, they don't change things, or they say, nope, we were just kidding, it's another refresh. Very fluid, they change all the time, but it looks like the Jetta is going to get a redesign for 2027. And occasionally we can get an idea of what's coming by the intraweb. Pardon me, guys. On the Volkswagen intraweb, there's a software that we use or websites that we use on the intraweb that kind of give a little hint to things. For 2027, they are calling the Atlas a second gen, but the Jetta, the 2027 Jetta briefly popped. Some things that popped that I noticed here. First of all, there were no colors in there. I couldn't pick colors or anything like that. But the Jetta popped up. Everything carries across from 2026 into 2027, except for a GLI manual. Looks like the GLI may go automatic only next year. So if you're thinking about a GLI as a manual, you probably want to get one sooner rather than later. Because the fact, number one, that the 2027 shows up on the intraweb thing sounds like they're tweaking it. It's coming. And then it might be here fairly soon. The other thing is, in those pictures, the shifter moves up to the steering column like the Tiguan, the ID Buzz, and the ID4. So I've made this clear before that I think that means if that does happen, that could possibly mean that the DSG goes away. And that would also mean that the manual transmission would probably go away. So this latest thing, me seeing that tells me that there's another egg in that basket that maybe the manual GLI is done after this year. No announcement from Volkswagen on that. This is only speculation from me, but I want to give you guys a heads up there and say, hey, check it out. If you're thinking about getting a manual GLI, you might want to get one soon. We have 3 in stock, a blue one and 2 black ones. We have 1 more possibly in our pipeline, and then everything else I think is automatic. So with that redesign, it looks like it gets a total redesign on the inside. That picture also shows a screen, a center screen, much like what's in the Golf R, GTI, and Tiguan S, SE, and SEL-R-Line. Not the giant 15-inch screen, but that 12.9 screen in the middle with the backlit sliders. I don't think they'll go back to the non-backlit sliders on anything else. Once that's done in the Atlas, they're done with that. I guarantee it. That is something that I know about the 2027 Jetta, allegedly. The other thing that we see, I don't know how many of you follow things on Instagram, but I follow Volkswagen. It's either Instagram or Facebook. They upload a lot of videos for other markets that aren't the U.S. market, have like Middle Eastern markets. They're advertising a Passat and a Jetta. And then there's also a video that they loaded that they were building Jettas in a factory. I think it was a Chinese factory. That Jetta over there has a rear illuminated logo, and it also does the flip with the camera, just like the Golf R and GTI, only the Golf R and GTI don't have an illuminated rear logo. So if that gives a hint to what the Jetta may become, I think the Jetta is going to go a little upscale, and I think that's well deserved. But then again, this is the U.S. market, and they love to water things down for us. So who knows? And there's been no announcement whatsoever on the Jetta at all. So we have no idea what's true and what's fiction, and they just don't tell us. We'll know when we know. Okay, so long and overdue. 2027 Atlas. They just released a bunch of information on the 2027 Atlas. It's got the rainbow cladding and stuff on it, so you can't see the things on it. As I said before, make sure you check out the Terramont Pro video on YouTube. There's 2 of them. There's a lot of AI BS out there, but there's 2 of them where it's this matte brown color, where they're actually going around the car. It looks like it's the real car, and it's the Chinese version. Terramont Pro, T-E-R-A-M-O-N-T, and in space Pro, 2026. If you type in 2026, it'll show you that, and it'll look like what the 2027 should allegedly look like. So, the other thing that happened there, they talked about some things that they called us the Telluride competitor, or an alternative to the Telluride. I don't remember what the words were. And basically an option instead of the Telluride. I don't like being compared to the Telluride. I just don't. The Telluride is getting a little big for its britches. Yes, they redesigned it for 2027. Yes, it looks good in certain models. Some of them, I ain't feeling it. But the thing that we have are going to be flush door handles that pop out. Looks like a lot of manufacturers are doing that next year. So we're doing it, Kia's doing it, and I think possibly Hyundai's doing it. I'm not sure. But that's coming. Another thing that's coming, allegedly, is a new EA 8888 engine for the Atlas. One other than the one they're using now, and it's not a V6 before anybody gets excited. It's still a 4-cylinder, and it's the one that they're using over in China. and that's coming here as well. The other thing that I noticed, it is still holding true. I noticed in those other videos, and I told you guys about it, the wheels on the Atlas R-Line, the black wheels, they're the same wheels that are on the SE-R-Line Black and the SEL-R-Line Turbo. They're just paint. Those are the exact same wheel, just painted different for those two cars. If anybody's not aware of that, those are the same exact wheel. So the new Atlas is going to have that. The illuminated light bar front and rear, that's not going away. They're going to keep that. Pardon me, guys. And the other thing that I thought was really cool that hopefully they keep on this new 2027 Atlas is when the rear view LEDs come on, or not rear view, the rear, when you put the car in reverse, those LEDs that light up, the white ones that light up, they're projectors that project on the ground, and they project an arrow motion this way, back, which is pretty darn cool. And they do also do a light dance when you turn them on, and also when you lock the car, just like the Tiguan SEL-R-Line Turbo does. So hopefully they keep all that. That would be nice. The other thing that we're hearing about the 2027 Atlas, it's virtually the same size. It's going to be on the MQB Evo platform, which is a newer modification to the MQB, if I remember correctly. Length is going to be the same. It's not going to get bigger than a Tahoe or something like that. However, our sister brand Audi is coming out with an Atlas size SUV. It'll be the Q9. That's coming out, but that's probably not coming out till mid. At the earliest, that'll be the end of 2026 or the beginning of 2027. And I'm not sure where they're going to build that at, but it won't be stateside. So there'll be that. Let's see here. Does anybody else have any questions about anything now that I'm rambling? So I'm excited for the 2027 Atlas. I'm a little disappointed that they're taking so long to bring it out because everybody else has already brought theirs out. I wish we brought it out. I wish we were bringing it out this summer rather than waiting till the wintertime to bring it out. But that may be also to let them do some tweaking and changes and maybe some upgrades to kind of keep up with the competition, because maybe the competition came out with something that they weren't ready to do, and then all of a sudden they said yes. Oh, and there is one other note. We've been hearing that hybrid was coming and hybrid was coming. Guess what? 2027 Atlas, I don't think it's coming. We were hoping for that and hoping, and have not heard a word about a hybrid at all on that powertrain. With that being a new engine, that makes perfect sense though, because they'd want to probably work out all the kinks and all the bugs and things like that with this engine before they slap a hybrid on it. And of course, when they do a hybrid, this is probably going to be a different engine mated with that hybrid than this one, or it could be the same one. We just don't know. On that note, you'll notice everything we talked about. 27 on Atlas. We never once mentioned cross sport. I'm beginning to think that that is on purpose from Volkswagen, that they're not talking about the cross sport at all. Basically, it sounds like a sneak attack where they want to come out. Because if they're redesigning the Atlas, they're redesigning the cross sport. But they have never said a word about it. They haven't hinted. They haven't shown it. Nothing. They're not even teasing anything. They don't mention it in any of their press releases. Nothing. It's a sneak attack to have something that hits and hits hard when they come out with the Atlas. That's what I'm starting to feel. Volkswagen doesn't normally do stuff that way. That's not their MO. That's not how they operate. But man, the fact that they are not talking about the cross sport at all, being redesigned, refreshed, anything, just seems weird. It's just odd. So I'd like to think that, man, the cross sport's going to come out and it's going to hit hard. I'm sure it's going to do all of the same things that this Atlas is going to do, where it has the flush door handles. Hopefully they keep the SEL-R-Line black, but they're definitely going to have an SEL-R-Line. Yeah, so, I just read a text there, sorry. So yeah, the hybrid's not coming. You're absolutely right, Fritz. It's not coming, at least yet anyway. They may delay it a year. They may delay it a model. Who knows? Volkswagen keeps doing this, and Volkswagen is very definitely late to the party. So everybody has a hybrid now, except for Volkswagen, pretty much, and that's just not acceptable for the U.S. market. They'll have to do better for the U.S. market, and hopefully they'll realize that soon. And that pains me to say that, but man, you got to have a hybrid technology. Everybody else, we have literally people to come into the dealership and say, "Show me your hybrids." I go, "Oh, that's easy. I don't have any." Well, see you later, and they leave immediately. Immediately. Seriously. There are people who are attracted to the brand, and then when we tell them we don't have a hybrid, yep, see ya. Just like that. And I don't think Volkswagen truly realizes how often that happens or how common that is. So, let's see here. Fritz, you're saying April. We were told November. I hope it's not April. I hope it's not April. Good God, that's way too late. That's deep into the model year already. That's a 2027 model, and it's like Volkswagen hasn't learned anything if that's the case. April's way too late. They need to stay on November. They were supposed to be June this year. So, oh, you're saying April of this year. Duh, sorry. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that early. They did delay it. They said November. So, yeah, yeah, I don't see them actually getting them to dealers that fast. Especially what they're changing stuff and they're adding stuff. I would like to think that we get a new interior. So who knows? Let's see here. Yeah, and that hybrid technology, it was supposed to come in two other cars. We were assuming it would be Crossport as well, and in Tiguan. We're not hearing anything yet about that. And we're very quietly coming into our third year of the Tiguan. So 2025 was a fast model year. 2026 we're in, and 2027 is not going to be that far around the corner. So yeah, the auto start stop is going away. That would be a good thing. And as far as I knew, that was EPA type requirement. That wasn't the manufacturers. That was required from the EPA. And that'd be a good thing, because that is the most annoying thing, and that causes problems. That causes problems with cars. That's been a pain in the ass. I can't say it any other way. That's been an absolute pain in the ass. Let's see here. Does anybody else have any questions? As I covered a lot there. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in. But I'm going to ask a couple random questions here that I kind of had written down. I wanted to know, of those of you who are watching it, if you've seen it, what is your opinion of the avocado green color on a Atlas Crossport? Because we've got one Atlas Crossport with black wheels and SE Tech with black interior, and that thing looks badass. But we had one earlier that had the cinnamon brown interior, or not cinnamon, but it had the dark beige, leatherette interior, and the thing didn't even get PDI before it sold. So that's awesome. The Trump administration today signed new EPA standards that will get rid of the auto. That's the start button. They actually mentioned that specifically in the press conference briefing. Oh, so this is breaking news. That's crazy. That would be great to get rid of that. That will, yeah. The 2027 will have the same feature and no changes on top. Right. The 2027 is too early to have any changes. So your power folding mirrors and your illuminated logo and light bar aren't coming for 2027, Fritz. Not on the SEL-R-Line. It'll have to be 2028 at the earliest, because that would be a 3-year cycle where they do a refresh on. And it may not even be 2028. It could be 2029. Oh, and I am totally missing something here. The press release about the ID4 becoming the ID Tiguan. I did not talk about that at all. That's more than likely 2027. That could be 2028. We don't know when that change will be for sure. Excuse me. The 2026s are already built. So essentially, let's not get it twisted. This is still an ID4. It's just not going to be called an ID4. The ID4 becomes the ID Tiguan. So there's going to be a redesign. It's going to be the ID4, but it's not going to be called an ID4. It's going to be an ID Tiguan. It's not going to be the Tiguan that's being built in Mexico currently. So it's an ID Tiguan. It's a separate car with the same name, electric. Got it? So ID Tiguan, I would presume, would start at the earliest 2027 and more likely probably 2028 because they would have to retool the factory and get it going. But the fact that it's not a new car completely, it's just a redesign, they could still make it happen for 2027. Then let's see. We talked about the Jetta. Oh, Taos will be due for a facelift or a redesign in 2020. Let's see, they did a refresh in 20. It could be 2027, but I doubt that they'll do Jetta and Taos in the same year. So probably 2028 they'll do that. And there's also some kicking around of a name change for the Taos. I've heard what the name is going to be, and I'm not going to put it out there till I don't want to get in trouble for putting that name out there. But it is something similar to something someone else is doing for a similar car. So the Taos may be up for a name change. Let's see here. Autonomous talk for the EVs. No, outside of the fact that the ID Buzz is going to be used for some robo taxis out on the West Coast, nothing. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything else on that. Speaking of ID Buzz, we all know there's no 2026 for the States. However, there are 2026 ID Buzzes. They're just not being built for the U.S. So everybody else in the world went about their business and built 2026s and are getting 2026s. It's just the U.S. is not. There's enough 2025s on the ground at dealerships, but they're not doing a 2026. It just wouldn't help the dealers out at all. It wouldn't be intuitive, or it's counterintuitive to do it that way. So, yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I think that Volkswagen at its best is going to do semi-autonomous. I don't really believe that they're going to do autonomous for the general public ever. They're way too worried about being sued. Way too worried because they water down all of the assist systems that we have now. And I talked about this before, where the assist system for Arteon in Europe, that car actually, emergency assist actually, it did the thing where it told you put your hands on the wheel. Then if you didn't do that, then the alarms would go off on the car, the beeps and the buzzing and the clangs and bangs and all that stuff to try to wake you up. It would shake you. It would shake the steering wheel. Emergency assist in the U.S. still does that, does all of that. But then it comes to a stop. I believe it applies the parking brake and it honks for help, setting off the alarm, the panic alarm on the car. But it stops in its lane. The Arteon in Europe actually did a signaled lane change and went over to the shoulder and stopped. The U.S., they said, nope, no lane changes. We're not doing any of that. They're too worried about getting sued, I guess, with that technology to where they're not bringing it to the States. Also, other technology. Yeah, that is weird considering their relationship with Rivian. But that's a developing relationship, and I think that stuff's coming. And I've said this before, too, that I think that Rivian's going to end up being part of the Volkswagen group sooner rather than later. So I think Rivian's going to be a Volkswagen brand in the not-too-distant future. The other thing that I was going to talk about, was there was something called Pro Park Assist, where you were able to use your cell phone and park the car. That never came to the U.S. We were supposed to have that as well. Let's see. If people come into the dealership upset, there's no hybrid. Remind them the Jets get 40 mpg. Oh, yeah, we already got that covered. Most people don't believe that a gas-powered car can get that good a fuel economy and not be a hybrid. So the Jetta does that all day. All day. That's crazy. That's crazy good mileage on that car. And the Taos will do that. Well, not that, but for an SUV, the Taos will get 36. That's crazy good. So we do have cars to beat that hybrid. Volkswagen for the U.S., no hybrid for 2027, at least allegedly, not yet. And the 2027 Atlases should be here. They're telling us now November, but they're usually a little. They're being safe with that, so they're telling us November. So that makes me think that it would probably be October-ish. We'll start seeing them in the pipeline. Um, I'm excited to see what the colors are. I'm excited to see what one looks like. So man, it's well overdue. The Atlas has existed since 2017 on that body style, on that body with 2 refreshes. The first refresh was 2021. Second refresh, excuse me, was 2024. They should be done with refreshing that car. It's going to be a redesign. So the Atlas does win in a lot of categories, So I hope it's still competitive and competes with the other manufacturers, because everybody raised their game a lot. The Traverse did, the Explorer did, the Telluride did, the Palisade did, the Armada did. There's so much in that category. Now on the other hand here, I will say this: GM/Cadillac, I think, is going the wrong direction, because we have a Cadillac store next door to us. Their goal was to be all electric by 2030, and they were not blinking. They were still trying to do that. So the only SUVs that Cadillac is going to have as an ICE vehicle or internal combustion engine is going to be the Escalade and let's see, excuse me. Pardon me. There's going to be an XT4. It's either XT4 or XT5. I believe it's the XT4 comes back or is staying. And that's it. Everything else is going to be EVs. The Aptic, the Lyric, the Optic, and the Escalade IQ are going to be their electric cars. And then there's an electric Lyric V. That looks interesting. The CT5 goes away. And I forget what else goes away. But there's some manufacturers that are making some missteps and making some changes that I don't think are good for the long term. And hopefully Volkswagen can step in and snap some of those people up. Let's see here. Yep. Does anybody else have any other questions? Any questions at all? Just ask them now. It could be like another stupid question. Hey, what's the weather like down there? What do you think of the Chiefs' chances this year? What do you think of the Royals? Where's the best place for barbecue? I will tell you that. Kansas City. Kansas City. All of you are going to say, hey, wait, we got a barbecue place in town. I don't know. It's hard to top. But, man, if you haven't had barbecue in Kansas City, you're missing out. Arthur Bryant's Barbecue, Oklahoma Joe's Barbecue, Q39 Barbecue, Martin City or Jack Stack Barbecue is definitely top notch as well. Those are my favorites. So if you're in Kansas City, going to Overland Park, going to Lenexa, going to Lawrence. Lawrence is only 30 minutes down the road from KC. You owe it to yourself to get you some KC barbecue and bring some home. It's going to cost you a lot. Bring it home. You might spend $100 or so on barbecue, but take home, bring it home with some dry ice in the cooler. You won't regret it. You will not regret it. So there's that. Again, does anybody have any questions about anything else? I went over everything there. I don't really have anything else unless you have any questions. You see that right there, a Toyota ad running on my videos. Toyota's been advertising on my channel a lot, uncomfortably so. So I see a lot of Toyota ads on my channel, and you know what? I don't mind. It helps me pay for this stuff. It helps me build out. Also at the top, speaking of that, you can see a super chat button up there. You can super chat, send money or whatever, and whatever it pops up there. That's a possibility. If you want to do that, I'm just looking at my screen and I see it on the screen there. So, but don't buy a Toyota, buy a Volkswagen. The Toyota, oh my gosh, the Tiguan Turbo. It is a compact spare. It's not a donut, but it's not the full-size spare either, though. The Arteon was the only car that really came with the full-size spare. The Tiguan Turbo is going to have a low-profile tire spare because that subwoofer fits down in that. So that's what you're going to have there. Let's see. Any other questions? You forgot to mention the new Passat in the Middle East. I mentioned that earlier. I was mentioning that they were advertising that and the Jetta. And the Jetta looks like it may go upscale if it took any of the cues from that Middle Eastern Jetta and that or that Passat. And both of those cars, excuse me, both have an illuminated rear logo and a pop-out camera, what like the GTI and Golf R. So I did mention that, and I mentioned that on the Jetta, but I didn't mention it on the Passat. But they both have it. So those cars need to come back to the States. They need to bring the Beetle back. Volkswagen needs to just go back to their roots. Quick 4 things. Put a gas engine in the Buzz, bring back the Beetle, bring back the Passat, and make the Jetta more upscale. Boom. They're back in business. Atlas is fine. Tiguan is fine. Taos is fine. ID4/ID Tiguan is fine. You just need to bring back that thing, and you need to bring us another car. Something. Bring us something fun. Golf R. Oh, Golf R and GTI are staying for the long haul. They are staying around. I don't know if that means that the Golf R is going to be built in Mexico or not. The Golf R has never been built outside of Germany. So that's going to be weird if they build it in Mexico. We don't know what that's going to look like, but there is going to be a Mark 9. So we know that, and they're keeping an ICE engine in that thing. And I am seeing a lot of talk about the ID GTI or a GTI electric. So maybe that's coming as well. Don't know for sure. You did see another cool story about a transporter van based off of the ID Buzz over in Europe. It's like it's an electric GTI is what they're calling it. It has accents like a GTI. It comes in tornado red like the GTI. It's got honeycomb stuff on it. It's got seats like a GTI. This is what I'm talking about when I say Volkswagen never gives the U.S. the cool stuff. Why are they holding out on that? If they really want to sell all the ID Buzzes, well, that's what they need to sell. Okay? So, there's that. So there's all these cool things that we get over in Europe that we don't get in the States. So I don't know why we're not good enough. Does anyone else have any other questions? Fritz, are you done with questions there? Looks like I got people from Florida. I got people from California in here. I got somebody from Philly in here, and someone from Milwaukee. That's pretty cool. I got north, south, east, and west. That's pretty cool. The last live, a couple lives ago, I had somebody from Canada and somebody from Mexico. So that's really cool. With that being said, I don't think I have much else in there. If someone else has a question, toss it in now, or otherwise I'm going to end this at the 45 mark. Let's see here. Atlanta. Woo! How about that? Are you guys going to keep Kirk Cousins down there? Let's see here. Here's a question. How come Volkswagen has yet to embrace the technology of having a rear view mirror turn into camera like a lot of other vehicles do, including certain Toyotas? Are you talking about the digital rear view mirror? If so, Volkswagen does have it. They don't put it in any cars standard. It's not an option on the cars, but the service department has it. We have one, and I've been trying like the dickens to get our service department to install one on a car. Preferably an Atlas, and it just hasn't happened yet because our service department is busy. They're booked up like 3 weeks out, and I just haven't been able to get it done. Plus, now I have a showroom car that's going to have it, or a car on my lot that's going to have it, and if a customer doesn't want it, it's already installed, and we're going to end up giving it away for free because they're going to say, nope, I don't like it. So they're hesitant about it, but it's already been paid for, so we just need to put it in a car. I might lean on somebody to get that done, try to get that done here pretty soon. So yeah, that mirror does exist. It just doesn't come from the factory on the cars. That's something that the service department puts in the cars. So if that's what you're referring to. Big Blue fan. Oh, wait a minute. Big Blue. Which Big Blue are you referring to? Oh man, I need to know which Big Blue that is. That could be pretty much anybody. You're not talking to Colts, are you? Does anybody else have any questions? Ooh, Giants. Was not expecting that. And I've never heard them referred to as Big Blue. Wow, okay. They got a coach. Look out. um, so with that being said, if no one else has any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and peace out. As usual, guys, I will do these on Thursdays. I don't usually announce them. I tried to schedule this one earlier in advance, and something happened where it didn't work out. I will figure this out, but Thursday's going to be today, 7:30 my time is going to be the time. I'm not saying that I'll do them every Thursday, every other Thursday, or anything like that. I haven't really committed to that yet because I got 2 daughters. I got family around and things change. So I got to make it work. But I'll start trying to schedule these a little more in the future. Until then, guys, thanks a lot. Have a good evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.